What an incredible afternoon on the Cicchetti and wine tasting tour. It was just the two of us, and we were so lucky to have Mariana as our guide, who truly made the experience very special. She's not only an expert on Venetian food and history, but also has a wonderful personality that made it feel like we were exploring the city with a friend. The food was outstanding and we learned so much, including how to eat and drink at a bakery which we'd always been unsure about. This was a true highlight of our weekend of Venezia and we cannot recommend it highly enough. Grazie Mariana. We had a short time in Venice and figured scheduling a tour would be the best way to see the city and try different things. We lucked out with our tour being the only two, so it allowed a more intimate experience with our wonderful host, Carlo. He took us to 4 different spots, many of which we revisited when we came back 2 weeks later, but also bought product/merch. Every spot we went to, we were treated very kindly and had great accommodations. I couldn't recommend this trip enough, and if you get Carlo, you really did luck out. Our tour with Alice was the best way to start our visit to Venice. She showed us a real taste of Italy, and the little extras such as tips for our stay, made it even more personal and useful. She made everyone on the tour feel involved and made sure everyone had enough wine and pasta in the final restaurant. We even went back to have another gelato before we left Venice. Thank you for a great evening, Alice. Anna inspired me with her passion for Venice, its culture and, last but not least, its culinary treasures. Even though she leads countless groups, I felt that she devoted all her energy to us. It was wonderful to be traveling in a very small group, as we could find space everywhere. The variety of places we visited and the feeling of being welcome made these hours a lasting experience. We had a wonderful time. Great food, interesting information, and our delightful guide Martina made it an evening to remember. We now know how to pick a good Italian restaurant and the difference between a taverna and an osteria. We also got to experience Venice after the majority of tourists leave, allowing us to easily navigate all the wonderful little alleys of Venice. Enjoyed a great tour with Martina today. As a bonus, I was the only guest, so I had a fascinating 90 minutes of conversation, and of course tasting delicious local food and wine. She was a super guide, a native Venetian who knew great places to go for Cicchetti, wine, cake and coffee. I learned lots and came away very full and satisfied. Definitely recommend. Loved this tour. Carlo did a great job introducing us to the group and the fabulous local foods of Venice. Best part was the local restaurant, Antica Osteria Rialto, with house wine and sardine sour. He lives in Venice and knows the insights we wanted to experience. The tour easily accommodated our gluten-free diet. We had a great experience with our guide Lorenzo. He was very friendly, had a great vibe, and shared lots of interesting historical information along with stories about the places and food we tried. He also recommended several local spots we wouldn't have found on our own. Highly recommend this tour. Thank you, Lorenzo. My tour was called Venice Culinary Tour with Cicchetti and Wine. The tour was wonderful. We got to see restaurants which tourists don't go to, taste different type of food and drinks for the area. The guide Anne was full of energy and got us very nicely through the tour. I can recommend this.